My name is Eliza Thompson, and I never thought I'd be the type of woman to eavesdrop on her husband. Yet here I am, ear pressed against our bedroom door, heart pounding as I listen to Derek's hushed voice. I can't wait to see you either, babe, he murmurs into his phone. This weekend is going to be amazing. Just you and me. No interruptions. My stomach lurches. No interruptions? We have 2 kids and a dog. There's always an interruption. I've booked us that suite you liked, Derek continues. The one with the jacuzzi tub. I stumble back from the door, my mind reeling. A suite? A jacuzzi? These aren't the kind of plans you make with your golf buddies. Honey, Derek calls out. Everything okay? I force myself to breathe, to sound normal. Fine, I manage to croak. Just stub my toe. Be careful, he replies, his voice muffled again as he returns to his call. I retreat downstairs, collapsing onto the couch. How did we get here? 15 years of marriage, 2 beautiful children, and now, this? I think back to our early days, the stolen kisses, the long talks about our future. When did that passionate love turn into this hollow shell? The sound of Derek's footsteps on the stairs snaps me back to reality. I grab a magazine, pretending to read as he enters the room. Hey, sweetie, he says, leaning down to kiss my cheek. I've got to head into the office. Big project coming up. I nod, not trusting myself to speak. As he grabs his keys and heads for the door, I can't help but wonder, is this what our marriage has become? A web of lies and secret phone calls? One thing's for certain, I'm not going down without a fight. I've become a detective in my own home, scrutinizing every receipt, every late night at the office, every unexplained expense. The evidence mounts with each passing day, and my suspicions grow like a cancer. Jen, I can't shake this feeling. I confide to my best friend over coffee. Derek's been acting so strange lately. Jen leans forward, her eyes full of concern. Strange how? I sigh, pushing my untouched muffin away. Working late constantly, mysterious charges on our credit card, always on his phone. And last week, I overheard him planning a romantic getaway. Oh, Eliza, Jen breathes. That doesn't sound good. I know, I whisper, fighting back tears. I need to know for sure. Jen reaches across the table, squeezing my hand. Have you considered hiring a private investigator? The thought sends a chill down my spine. Isn't that a bit extreme? Extreme times call for extreme measures, Jen says firmly. You deserve the truth, Eliza. That night, as Derek mumbles another excuse about working late, I make my decision. With shaking hands, I dial the number Jen gave me. Hawkeye Investigations, a gruff voice answers. I need help, I stammer. I think my husband is cheating on me. The investigator's voice softens. I understand, ma'am. We'll get to the bottom of this. As I hang up, a mix of dread and determination washes over me. No more burying my head in the sand. No more pretending everything's fine. I may have given up my career for this family, but I won't give up my dignity. If Derek thinks he can betray me without consequences, he's about to learn how wrong he is. The game is on, and I intend to win. The manila envelope feels heavy in my hands, laden with the weight of betrayal. I take a deep breath and open it, spilling its contents onto the kitchen table. Photographs. Dozens of them. Each one a dagger to my heart. Derek, my husband of 15 years, locked in passionate embraces with a woman I don't recognize. Outside hotels. In restaurant booths. Entering an apartment building I've never seen before. My hands shake as I pick up the private investigator's report. Subject observed meeting Amber Collins, 28, coworker at Thompson Family Enterprises. Amber. The name burns in my mind. Young, beautiful Amber, with her perfect body and carefree smile. How could I compete with that? I grab my phone, dialing Jen's number. It's true. I choke out when she answers. He's cheating. With some girl from work named Amber. Jen's voice is a mix of sympathy and rage. That bastard. What are you going to do? I stare at the photos, at Derek's guilty face, at Amber's smug smile. Something inside me hardens. I'm going to make them pay, I say, my voice cold. Both of them. Eliza. Jen starts, but I cut her off.
No.
I've given everything to this marriage. My career, my independence. I won't let them get away with this. As if on cue, I hear Derek's key in the lock. I quickly gather the photos, shoving them back into the envelope. Hey, honey, he calls out, his voice sickeningly cheerful. I'm home. I paste on a smile, tucking the envelope into a drawer. In the kitchen, dear. As Derek walks in, oblivious to the storm brewing, I make my decision. No more playing the dutiful wife. No more turning a blind eye. It's time for Derek and Amber to face the consequences of their actions. And I'll be the one to deliver them. The doorbell chimes and my heart races. I smooth my hair, take a deep breath, and open the door. Hi, I'm Amber. You must be Mrs. Thompson, chirps the young woman on my doorstep. Her smile is dazzling, her outfit impeccable. Please call me Eliza, I say, ushering her in. Thanks for coming on such short notice. Amber follows me to the living room, chattering about her experience with children. I nod, barely listening, my mind focused on the confrontation to come. So, tell me about your kids, Amber says, settling onto the couch. I sit across from her, meeting her eyes. Actually, Amber, I wanted to talk about your experience with my husband. Her smile falters. Excuse me? Don't play dumb, I say, my voice ice cold. I pull out the envelope of photos, spreading them on the coffee table. Care to explain these? Amber's face drains of color as she sees herself with Derek in various compromising positions. I don't know what you're talking about, she stammers. Really? Because it looks like you know my husband quite intimately. Just then, the front door opens. Honey, I'm home early, Derek calls out. He walks into the living room, freezing when he sees Amber and me. His eyes dart to the photos on the table. What's going on here? He asks, his voice trembling. Why don't you tell me, Derek? I say, standing up. Or better yet, why don't you both explain how long this has been going on? Amber bitterly. Is that what you call destroying a family? Derek steps forward, hands raised. Eliza, please. It's not what you think. I can explain. Save it, I snap. I've heard enough lies from you. I turn to Amber, my anger boiling over.
And you?
Get out of my house.
Now.
As Amber flees and Derek stammers excuses, I realize this is just the beginning. The real battle is yet to come. The house is silent, save for the ticking of the grandfather clock in the hallway. Derek stands before me, his face a mask of guilt and fear. Eliza, please, he begs. We can work this out. I'll end things with Amber, I swear. I laugh, a harsh, bitter sound. End things? You think it's that simple? I'll do anything, Derek pleads. Just tell me what you want. My eyes narrow. What I want the last 15 years of my life back. I want to erase the memory of you with her. But since that's impossible, here's what's going to happen. I pull out a stack of papers from my desk drawer. You're going to sign these. It's a post-nuptial agreement. You'll pay me alimony, a hefty sum, for your indiscretions. And you'll transfer control of our finances to me. Derek's eyes widen. But that's everything. My savings, my investments dash. Your affair fund? I interrupt coldly. Consider it the price of your betrayal. And if I refuse? Derek challenges, a flicker of defiance in his eyes. I smile, a predatory grin. Then I'll make sure everyone knows about your little affair. Your parents, your colleagues, Amber's husband. I wonder how they'd react to these photos. The color drains from Derek's face. You wouldn't. Try me, I hiss. Oh, and one more thing. No divorce. Not yet. You don't get to walk away from this mess so easily. Derek's shoulders slump in defeat. Fine, he whispers, reaching for the pen. As he signs away his financial freedom, I feel a surge of vindictive pleasure. But it's not enough. Not nearly enough. I lean in close, my voice low and dangerous. And Amber? Tell her I'm not done with her yet. I have more evidence, more secrets. If she thinks she can wreck my life without consequences, she's in for a rude awakening. Derek looks at me, a mixture of fear and awe in his eyes. What happened to you, Eliza? I meet his gaze unflinchingly. You happened to me, Derek. And now you're going to wish you hadn't. The Thompson family estate looms before me as I park across the street. My hands tremble as I reach for the manila envelope on the passenger seat. Inside are copies of the damning photos, along with a detailed account of Derek's infidelity. I take a deep breath, steeling myself for what I'm about to do. This is the point of no return. Slipping out of the car, I approach the ornate mailbox. With one last glance at the house, I slide the envelope inside and quickly retreat. 2 days later, my phone explodes with notifications. Derek's frantic voice fills my voicemail. Eliza, what have you done? My parents, they know everything. They've cut me off, fired me from the company. Please call me back. I delete the message, a grim satisfaction settling in my chest. Later that afternoon, a knock at the door reveals a red-eyed, disheveled Derek. How could you, he croaks. My whole life. It's ruined. I regard him coldly. You ruined it yourself, Derek. I just made sure everyone knew the truth. As he crumples onto our porch, another plan unfolds. I pull out my phone, dialing a number I'd procured weeks ago. Hello, is this Blake Collins? I ask when a man answers. Yes, who's this? Someone who thinks you deserve to know the truth about your wife, Amber. There's a pause then. What are you talking about? Check your email in 5 minutes. You'll find all the proof you need of her affair with my husband, Derek Thompson. I hang up, ignoring Derek's horrified stare. You told Amber's husband, he whispers. I nod, my voice steel. Actions have consequences, Derek. It's time you both faced yours. As I close the door on his broken form, I feel a weight lift from my shoulders. The truth is out, the dominoes are falling. And I'm just getting started. The courtroom buzzes with tension as I sit, straight-backed and resolute, watching Derek squirm under the judge's scrutiny. Mr. Thompson, the judge intones, given the evidence of your infidelity and financial misconduct, this court orders you to pay Mrs. Thompson alimony in the amount of $5,000 per month, plus $2,500 in child support. Derek's face pales. Your Honor, I can't afford that. I've lost my job, my savings dash. Perhaps you should have considered that before engaging in an extramarital affair. The judge cuts him off. The court's decision is final. As we exit the courtroom, I catch sight of Amber, her once perfect appearance now disheveled and haggard. She's engaged in a heated argument with a man I assume is Blake, her soon-to-be ex-husband. You can't do this. Amber shrieks. Those are my kids too. Blake's voice is cold. Should have thought about that before you started sleeping with married men. The judge agreed. I get full custody. Amber's eyes meet mine, filled with a mixture of hatred and desperation. I hold her gaze, unflinching. Later that evening, Jen calls. I heard about the court decision. How do you feel? I sigh, sinking into my couch. Vindicated, I suppose. But also empty. Are you going to divorce him now? Jen asks gently. I pause, considering. Derek has lost everything, his job, his family, his mistress. The man I once loved is a shell of his former self. Yes, I finally reply. It's time to end this chapter of my life. As I hang up, I realize the fury that's driven me for months has faded. In its place is a quiet determination. Derek and Amber's lives are in shambles, but mine? Mine is just beginning. Tomorrow I'll file for divorce. But tonight, I'll sleep peacefully, knowing that justice has been served. The price of betrayal has been paid in full. 1 year later, I stand before a classroom of eager faces, my heart full of purpose. Welcome to Introduction to Psychology. I begin, my voice steady and confident. I'm Professor Eliza Thompson. As I launch into my lecture, I catch sight of my reflection in the window. Gone is the broken, betrayed woman I once was. In her place stands a woman reborn, pursuing the career she'd set aside for a family that no longer exists. After class, I meet Jen for coffee. Her eyes sparkle with pride as I recount my first day. "Look at you," she beams. "From stay-at-home mom to college professor. You've come so far, Eliza." I nod, a bittersweet smile playing on my lips. The kids have been amazing through all of this. They understand why I had to leave their father, and they're proud of me for going back to school. Jen's expression turns serious. "Have you heard about Derek and Amber?" I shake my head. "Not much. Should I have?" "Derek's working as a night janitor at some office building," Jen says. "And Amber? Well, she's a waitress now." I hear her kids barely speak to her. A twinge of guilt flickers through me, quickly replaced by resolve. They made their choices just as I made mine. As I drive home, I reflect on the tumultuous journey that brought me here. The pain, the betrayal, the fury. It all led to this moment of triumph. My phone buzzes with a text from my daughter. "So proud of you, Mom. Can't wait to hear about your first day." Tears prick my eyes, but they're tears of joy, not sorrow. I may have lost a husband, but I've gained so much more: self-respect, a new career, and an unbreakable bond with my children. As I pull into my driveway, I take a deep breath, savoring the sweet taste of victory. The shattered vows of my past have paved the way for a future brighter than I ever imagined. This is my new beginning, and I'm ready to embrace it with open arms.